Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist here, and today we're taking a look at the 2024 Subaru Forester Limited in the Cascade Grain Silica. So overcast day like today, as you can see, you got a darker green. So it's very much like a jade. When the sun hits it, you get a lot of metallic flake in it. 24 Forester is going to be the last of this current generation. 25s are going to be a redesign. It's powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder Boxer engine, producing 182 horsepower. More than adequate horsepower for a vehicle of this size. You get great fuel efficiency. At the front, you get LED steering responsive headlights, very aggressively styled. That new, more aggressive styled bumper. Fog light bezels have the matte gray finish to them, and you get this blacked out bumper. A very large bumper. Take a look at the hood. It's very, very square. This is that traditional SUV style with a boxiness to it, which has always been the Forester. Side profile is very much of an SUV, that boxy, tall roof line, squared off corners. Seats 5. You've got 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and of course, Subaru's full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive. At the rear, we do have backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper. They will apply the brakes if it thinks you're going to hit something between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour in reverse. We do have a power lift gate in this Forester, and all you have to do is press and hold the third button down right underneath the Subaru logo. After it starts moving, you can release it. Now, you can also open it from the door. You can also open it from the driver's seat. And in the rear, as you'd expect with that big boxy square rear end, there's a ton of room. Very tall, wide, deep storage. Privacy cover hides everything from the top of the seats down. Keeps things out of sight, out of mind. Cargo tray, standard equipment. Has a little bit of a lip to contain any liquids or spills that may happen. This can be removed as just a telescopic piece, and it actually tucks underneath the false floor here. And you can kind of see where it's supposed to fit across. Decent amount of storage underneath this false floor. And underneath this tray, we have our spare tire, our tools, our jack. We have our physical hard mount tie downs in each corner. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side. With the Limited being a full load, you do get the Harman Kardon audio system, so small 8-inch subwoofer back there. And if you need to fold the seats flat, simply click of a button, down it goes. One for the 60% side, one for the 40% side. We do have some hooks here. They will hold up to 6 pounds or 3 kilograms. I probably wouldn't use those while driving because it would hang whatever I'm hanging directly in my rearview mirror or ruin my rearward visibility. Hook out of the hatch, LED cargo light out of the hatch. Now I can shut that off. That'll close. When I close this hatch, that'll shut off, as will my LED cargo light here. Now, to close it, I can do it from the key fob like I showed you how to open. I can pull down, I can close it, I can close and lock it. I can do it from the driver's seat. So when I press that, everything locks, it closes. I am going to get an audible and a visual cue. And that indicates that it's locked. And now we're going to confirm that by pulling on the handle here. Yep, it's locked. And of course, on the Limited, exterior-wise, 18-inch wheels. You've got that machined aluminum alloy face. It's the same wheel that you find on the Sport Forester, just with an alloy face on it. Now, second row of the Forester, we have a ton of room. Amazing headroom, amazing legroom, 4 passengers. The seats fold up very easily. I personally find that out of all of the Subaru vehicles in our lineup, I have the most room in a Forester in the second row. I'm a bigger guy. Limited, black leather upholstered interior, gray contrast stitching, and the leather is, of course, perforated. There's a fold-down armrest with integrated cup holders. The outer 2 seats on this Forester are heated with high and low settings. Person in the middle, unfortunately, also has to sit in the middle. Doesn't get a heated butt. 2 USB ports for charging, vents out of the center console, in addition to underneath each front seat facing rearward to heat up or cool down the second row more effectively. 3 map back pockets on the back of both front seats. This is designed to be a step, so this is textured if you're going to load anything on the roof rail. So if you have crossbars, you're putting something up top, that is a much better step than standing on this tire. And the reason I say that is you can kind of see the tire sits inside the fender. You're not going to get as much of your foot on that as that. And if I'm standing on this straight up, I'm right at the back of the roof rack system. I may have to lean and put myself in a precarious situation. While we're looking at that, integrated tie downs, front and rear on the roof rails. Now, right here, we have access to the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for children, makes putting child seats in exceptionally easy. Rear door card, soft touch armrest, power window switch. Get a little bit of storage with a bottle holder there. We have child lock if you need that. We do also have this little silver bar, and that tucks in to that slot there. It's an extra side impact crash safety bar Subaru has added to their vehicles to stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. Another look at that side. It's really hard to appreciate this green when it's overcast. It's a gorgeous green. I really don't think the camera's doing it justice. Now, to lock it, I have that key on my person. It's within 46 inches. I've got these lines right here. That's how I lock it. Now, to unlock it, as long as the key is within 46 inches, I simply put my hand in the handle and I unlock it. Front door card, soft touch materials, just like the rear. Looks very, very similar, other than we have our front two auto switches, power rear windows, window lock, power mirror adjustment. We get 2 position memory settings. So 2 position memory settings will remember your mirror position as well as your power driver's seat position, because it is a power driver's seat including lumbar, at the click of a button, which is very, very nice. We have a little bit more storage here along with the bottle holder. Of course, they never miss out on an opportunity to say Harman Kardon. By the driver's left knee, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. You can turn off the steering responsive headlights. So those are the headlights that swivel left or right, depending how you, at speed when you're driving. You can set the height of the tailgate so it doesn't open into your roof. Scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges. We have the ability to turn off traction control, the auto start stop. You can disable your blind spot detection and cross traffic alert, and you can turn off the driver focus system if you want. And I'll show you that here in a second. But up front, great headroom, great leg room. Tall people fit in these without issue. And we do get that panoramic sunroof in this Forester. So on the inside, it's push button start. If the key's in the vehicle and you put your foot on the brake, light goes green. Green means go. Those orange lights in the side mirrors, those are your blind spot indicators, and it illuminates on the corresponding side whenever someone's in your blind spot. So it's a great aid. Doesn't replace shoulder checking, but it's an enhancement. Now, actually, speaking of visibility for shoulder checking, the visibility in a Forester, there are virtually no blind spots. It's phenomenal. Steering wheel, easy to change the position of. Bottom left of the steering column. Hook your thumb in, pull down, tilt, and telescopic depending how you like to sit. So it suits drivers of varying heights, leg, and arm lengths. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music, switch from AM to FM to satellite to USB. Info will change our small info screen up there. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Volume toggle, up and down, switch between your presets, accept calls, issue voice commands, hang up. Got these arrows. And that will change our small little center display here. Digital speedometer, how much fuel you've saved with the start-stop, change settings, your fuel economy, how long it's been running versus how far you've traveled. Most people, in my experience, like the driver focus system. I think it's handy too. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and our lane centering. Both of these systems use these 2 black boxes, these color stereo eyesight cameras, to look for pedestrians, cyclists, road lines, and other vehicles. These cameras also do lane sway and automatic emergency braking, and that actually saves you 10% on your basic insurance here in BC. So when I turn on the cruise, I get an image of the Forester, and you'll notice there's 4 bars ahead of it. That is the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you. You will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. So 4 bars there at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. So you can decrease or increase the follow distance. Anytime I press down, it decreases the bars. And it's a ratio. About 150 to 180 feet at 100 kilometers an hour. If they slow down, you'll slow down, get a little closer. And it will bring you to a stop, but I don't recommend that because that's pretty darn close. Now, lane centering is designed to work above 60 kilometers an hour. And when I turn that on, you get the little image of the steering wheel to the right of the Forester. And you'll notice those gray lines on either side of the distance markers are now illuminated. So above 60 kilometers an hour, if the cameras can see the road lines, whether that's one or both or none, it'll then keep you centered and give you gentle steering input to keep you centered in your lane. Easy to overpower if you need, but it's a great driving aid. It doesn't replace you. It's easy to overpower. If you have to dodge a moose or a pedestrian or another vehicle, you can easily do that. There's a little bit of pressure, but it's an enhancement for your driving. We have sport and intelligent drive modes. Sport's for more spirited driving. Intelligence, what it defaults to for the most fuel-efficient driving. Heated steering wheel, which is the best thing ever. It's a little chilly right now, so I have it on. It's nice and toasty. It does not heat between the seams at the top, just where you're supposed to keep your hands. There's a little dead spot right there, but anywhere you're supposed to keep your hands gets heated, which is nice. Paddle shifters, downshift and upshift, so you can manually select your own gears with this automatic CVT. It's very, very handy. Up top, we've got our driver focus system. You may notice a little red light there from time to time. That's trying to scan my face in. You can do your memory settings based on your face, but it'll also tell you if you're not paying attention to the road. You can see the red light there, or if you're drowsy, and it will give you an audible and a visual notification up there. Now, this info screen that we have, you can change it with the info button on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. And every time you press the info button, it changes, gives you a different piece of information depending what you want to look at. Fuel economy, date, time, you can change settings, what safety tech's on. There's lots. It all depends what you want to look at. It's also where our climate control displays. And it is dual zone, and it ranges from 15 on the low side all the way up to 30. Freezing to tropical, easy to sync it back to just driver controlled. You can see where your fan strength is. You can see where your airflow is being directed. It's really easy. You always have your outside temperature and your clock there. Below that, we have our 8-inch Subaru infotainment screen. Really easy to use. Phone allows you to hook your phone up to Bluetooth. Media is anything USB or Bluetooth you're listening to for music or audiobooks, that sort of thing. Map, powered by TomTom, no subscription, free for the life of the vehicle. Apps, you have wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You'll gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name, and that allows you to remote start your vehicle from your phone, lock and unlock doors, check engine lights, a multitude of features. Now, when I put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. You can see the top of the bumper there, so you have something to relate to. And those lines move and show you where you're going to end up if you keep your wheel turned that way. Now, if I twist this back towards myself, I can clean the backup camera from inside the vehicle. Great feature here, especially for our sloppy winters. Below the screen, we have some physical buttons, and this is a little shiny right now. I've left the plastic on it right now. Someone can peel that off later if they want, but physical buttons, physical home button, always takes us here. Go direct to media, you can go direct to map. They double up in a lot of things. We still have a volume and tuning knob, which is nice. Below that, we've got our 4-ways, driver side temperature, passenger side temperature, fan strength, sync together to just driver controlled. Mode changes where the airflow is coming from. This does our heated mirrors, our heated back window, and our windshield wiper deicers. What I mean by windshield wiper deicers is where the wipers sit on the windshield are heated. It's a great thing. You go through way less wipers in the winter here. Below that, we've got a little storage cubby with 2 USBs, an auxiliary, and a 12-volt. Rubberized device storage, which is nice. And similar material on the side here, so if you have to rest your knee on the transmission tunnel, it's definitely more comfortable than having a hard plastic piece. Automatic CVT with manual mode, pull it towards yourself, and that's where you have full control up and down. Now, you'll notice I'm in first. I pull this right paddle, goes up to second. I can't start off in 5th or 6th or anything like that. So you're kind of limited in that regard, and it's not going to let you stall, but you control when you upshift, you can downshift. You got a lot of options with this. Down here, we have our heated seats, high and low for both the driver and passenger. With the leather, that's nice. If you remote start the vehicle and you have your heated seat switch on, they'll turn on. Dual function X mode. So this is like 4x4 low in a pickup. It's Subaru's equivalent. I have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it. If I twist to the left, I get the X mode screen. I get the off-road mode screen. And you can see I have that little downhill descent control icon right there, and then the rough terrain icon. So downhill descent control will control your descent up to, I think it's 20 or 25 kilometers an hour. You just focus on the driving, the steering, not the braking. And if I twist to the right, we go to deep snow and mud mode, and you'll notice it also turns off traction control to allow for excess wheel spin to chew you out of that situation. Now, if I exceed 40 kilometers an hour or I press down, it goes back to regular drive mode. Our parking brakes are electronic. You pull up to activate it, And if my foot's not on the brake and I push down, it doesn't go off. It actually says, depress brake, foot on brake, push down, and off it goes. AVH is a brake holder for construction drive through a rush hour traffic. We have cup holders. They fit a variety of cup sizes just based on these. A little bit of storage, a nice soft touch armrest, quite a bit of storage in there, and there is a 12-volt power point in there. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up there or not. And there's a place to run cords through so you don't crush them when your armrest is down. My favorite feature ever, auto-dimming rear view mirror. There's no switch to flick. It just automatically dims if someone has their brights on behind you. You can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror. Got an integrated compass. Up top, we have our lane sway and automatic emergency braking. You can turn those features off. Can't think of a reason why I'd want to turn that off, especially since an insurance discount is tied to that, to having that. Sunroof control. Got our SOS and our roadside. That is part of the 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. These map lights are LEDs. And panoramic roof. It is quite large. It is just a slide. It does not tilt, but it does extend well into the second row. And we do have some sunglass storage, which is nice. We've got card holders on both visors. We've got vanity mirror with lights. And I have an extension for the sun visor if the sun's directly at my left or right. So that is a quick look at the 2024 Subaru Forester Limited in the Cascade Green Silica. I'll give you guys this little 360 walk around the outside here. Fantastic vehicles. One of the more popular vehicles in the Subaru lineup. Meets a lot of people's needs. All-wheel drive, ground clearance, safety. Pillars that Subaru has built their reputation on. If you guys have any questions about this car, any of the features in it, any of the tech, please put it in the comments below. More than happy to answer any of your guys' questions here about this Forester. So thank you for watching my quick walkthrough of the 2024 Subaru Forester Limited in the Cascade Green Silica. If you guys are in the market for a Subaru new or used, please reach out to me directly. I'd love to help you find the perfect vehicle. If you reach out to the dealership, tell them you want to deal with me, and I would be more than happy to get back to you with any information you need. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk soon.